I Learn Through Play Toddler Workbook series. Our workbook, My Home, Week 1, we have My Family. Now, a few fun things to do with a worksheet such as this is you can, while you're asking your child to count family members, you can ask them to draw their family members. So, for instance, you can maybe take the white page on this side of the book and you can ask the child to either by freehand draw the family members, or you can take shaped objects and ask the child to trace the shapes to make a stick figure of their family members. For instance, a circle such as this, you can place it there for them and ask them to trace it. And the same with a triangle. Then what you can ask the child to do after they drew all these family members, they can maybe cut it out for a bigger child, and for a smaller child you can assist them in cutting it out, and then they can give it as a present to the family members. Another thing you can do is you can use magazines or pieces of paper and make a nice big stick figure, again with all the family members. You can either put it against the fridge or against their bedroom wall, or they can give it as gifts for their family members. But remember that throughout this exercise, it's a good idea to ask them to count the family members, to name the shapes and different colors as used to make these stick figures. But remember to make it fun and interactive and on the level of your child's learning. So enjoy learning with your child. In our I Learn Through Play Toddler Workbook series, our workbook, My Home, Week 2, we have Love for Our Families. Now, a few fun things to do with a worksheet such as this is that you can maybe ask the different members of your family to join you, and you can then use chalk to draw different patterns on the ground pointing in the directions of the family members. So if you have maybe a zigzag, you can ask the child, follow the line going towards dad, and then they have to walk on the zigzag towards dad, or say follow the line right that leads towards your brother, and then they have to walk on the line. Or you can ask them to do different actions, maybe jump towards mommy, or spin around and then walk towards your sister on the left. What you can also do is ask the child to lay down on the ground, and then you trace the body line of the child, and afterwards you lay on the ground and say, now you can trace my body and the different bodies of the family members, so that all the family members are drawn. What you can also do is have the child spend some time with the different family members and mimic their actions or help out with work they usually do around the house. For instance, they can maybe play outside with their brother and mimic some of the actions they usually do. So, for instance, kick the ball with brother, and if he hops on the left leg, you should also hop on the left leg. Or he can help mother in the kitchen. These are just a few fun things you can do with the child, but it's important to show love for your family with these actions. And this is the ideal time to spend together. But remember to make it fun and interactive and on the level of your child's learning. So enjoy learning with your child. In our I Learn Through Play Toddler Workbook series, our workbook, My House, week 3, we have My Home. Now, a few fun things to do in this week is to use the puzzle we include in the beginning of the book. Since this puzzle is a house, you can either assist a smaller child to cut the pieces out, or for a bigger child, let them cut them out themselves and decorate the pieces, and then they have a nice house puzzle to build. But what you can then do with this puzzle after you've cut it out is you can either let them paste it on either of the white pages in the book, or they can paste it on a poster, or they can even make it bigger so they can trace these shapes in a bigger size so that have a big poster. Now, what's important to do while you work with this puzzle is to go over the shapes included in the house, the different colors you decorate it with, and even textures if you include textures in your house, which is a very fun thing to do with your puzzle. But what you can then also do is, with this blueprint the child then has of a house, you can use any objects you find around your own home. For instance, you can use sticks and have the child build a house out of that. A house like this you can also paste on a poster or a piece of paper, or you can even use magazines and cut out different images to add to your house. A dog, a tree, a family maybe. These are just a few fun things you can do with the puzzle as included in the book, but remember to make it fun and interactive and on the level of your child's learning. So enjoy learning with your child. In our I Learn Through Play Toddler Workbook series, our workbook, My Home, week 4, we have dangers around the house. Now, a few things to do for worksheets such as this is to use this sheet as a kind of checklist to go with your child and discuss different dangers around the house. For instance, you can walk with your child and discuss the dangers of sharp objects and ask the child to point out different sharp objects that they have to be careful for, and objects such as knives, or discuss with the child the dangers of using scissors and how they should always ask somebody to help them with it. Or if you have safety child plastic scissors, tell them these are your scissors and these are my scissors, because these are dangerous, but you can use these. Then you can, after you've discussed this subject, you can either tick it off or have the child color it in, or look through magazines for the same object and paste it on the worksheet. And the same goes for hot objects, for instance the stove, So you show them the stove, you discuss the dangers around it, and then after you're done, you tick it off on your list, or color, or search for pictures. And then you can discuss water and how dangerous it is, how they should always have a parent or an older sibling with them around the pool or any large bodies of water, even a body of water such as a bucket with water, the dangers of it and how they should always have supervision. And then the same goes for household objects. Tell them, if it's not in your water bottle or glass that I gave you, do not drink it. If it's not on the plate I gave you, do not eat it. These are just a few examples for a worksheet such as this, but remember to make it fun and interactive and on the level of your child's learning. So enjoy learning with your child.